we open up full throttle and engines today for our special event which talks only of two-wheelers and what is Bosch doing in two-wheeler space in India.
Bosch has been developing for quite a number of years, as I mentioned, here in India, technology that's suitable for single-cylinder engines and suitable specifically for emerging markets. We see with EFI technology up to 16% reduction in CO2 emissions, and with a reduction in emissions also naturally comes an improvement in fuel economy. So it's not only good for the environment, it's also good for your wallet in regards to having a long-term impact for total cost of ownership.
The demand is going up. I think this year it's around 20 million, including export. It's likely to grow to around 26.8 million going forward in 2022. So this is the data from Fredonia study.
The technology is available. We can sense in a full 360 degree around the bike, and for the rider we can provide feedback through audio on helmets. We could also make a noise for other topics. So it's not really a technology topic. The question is, how do we get the price of technology down to a point that we can equip a larger number of bikes? In the next years, autonomous vehicles in non-emerging countries are going to become mainstream. And the sensors that we are using on the motorcycle are sensors from the four-wheeler, which means that when the volume for autonomous vehicles goes up, the volume for the sensors will go up a lot. And then we hope we have scales of economy that we can bring down the price of the sensor, and then we can look at using this technology also in the mid-class bikes and in the lower class bikes.
So my question is, do you see Bosch becoming a household name in India in terms of producing safety components?
Yes, we expect Bosch to become a household name, but probably not because of safety topics. I think you know Bosch is a very, very big company and we have many different product lines. So things like white goods and pressure washers and power tools and these things, this is where we actively promote Bosch as a brand. When it comes to the space we're talking about, our job is to bring technology.
I think safety is of paramount importance in the things that we do, that is motorcycling. It's a very important aspect to look at when you're on two wheels. And I think with the backing of something as important as Bosch with its technology and innovation, I think we have a clear understanding of what the future is going to look like. It's not just the future, the present as well is very promising. And the promise is to keep us safe, and they're very adept at it.
The event is overall fantastic. The way the Bosch presented in terms of their contribution to two-wheeler segment as well as the safety point of view. Particularly in a country like India, the major accidents happening, two-wheeler accidents. Majority deaths happening, particularly for two-wheelers. So ABS is going to play a major role, and Bosch, I'm sure, going to have a best role to play on this.
So how is the evening today been framed like? We will listen to some presentation, we will listen to conversations from leaders and from people who are part of the fraternity. We'll have a panel discussion and some Q&A, and this will end with a fabulous evening outside where we even have exhibits from our businesses where you can see about what are technologies going in or what are the spares or even how to keep your bike clean.
So we start from Alaska, go all the way top to the Arctic Ocean, we come down, get into Canada, again we go all the way top to a place called Tuktoyaktuk, which again is in the Arctic Ocean, and then we come down into mainland Canada, get into the United States, pan all the way to the west, and then again pan all the way to the east, covering the Route 66, and then we get into Mexico. So into Mexico we start with Baja, very famously known for its Baja 1000 rally, and we get into the mainland Mexico and then start doing the Central American countries, which is Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, Costa Rica and Panama. And from there we switch on to South America. So we start with Colombia, then we get into Ecuador, then we get into Peru, Bolivia, Chile, and finally end in Argentina, a place called Ushuaia, which is known as the end of the world.
We have some really interesting biker groups in the audience today. I would love to hear a big cheer as I call out your names. We have some people rolling in the back as well. We'll begin with Gods, Royal Mavericks, Himalayan Hawk, the Adventurous Voyagers, Red Biker Group and India Bull Riders. Thank you for making it here. It's always a pleasure. We were talking about accidents. Accidents are nasty. They're not good. And in more cases than one, you end up with broken bones, and in some cases, it's pretty severe as well. And it's not a good thing. And it's great to see that Bosch has this promise of getting down the number of accidents. And I would love to see a day where we've written 0 breakdowns. And I'm sure all of us will agree with this fact that it should be 0 accidents. So kudos to that, and good luck with making that number happen. Okay, we'll start off with the first question. First question for Mr. Prabhu, who is the India head for Bosch. Prabhu, what does the future look like for Bosch in India?
Well, Bosch is present in India since 1951, catering to passenger car as well as commercial vehicle requirements. And now that there is legislation for ABS as well as BS6 for two-wheeler, and this year itself the volume of two-wheeler is around 20 million. Going forward by 2025 it will be around I guess around 28 million. So Bosch sees a huge opportunity going forward, especially in two-wheeler segment. So you have seen all the product offering that we have from Bosch for two-wheeler segment, and from this, I mean, we see a great opportunity in two-wheeler segment, especially for Bosch in India.
With both the BS6 coming and also with the ABS, we started the journey so many years ago. The preparation for something like this has taken us 4 or 5 years. And this, as I mentioned before, it's important for us to understand what technology is necessary in a 4 or 5 year window, because we need to start working today for something that's coming in 2023, 2024.